up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. And today we're talking about a topic that I know is on a lot of people's minds. And it's all about YouTube. How do you get your videos to actually rank on YouTube? How do you get your content found? Because what's absolutely true, folks, is that like videos are great to do, but half the battle is creating the video. The other half is getting them seen. And if they're not getting seen, please tell me what the fuck's the point. So what we're going to talk about today is exactly how to rank videos on YouTube. We call this process in our world, we call it optimization. But let me first tell you the story on how we got today's guest. My life is very spontaneous. And one of these spontaneous things that popped up was sort of like our stars aligned. And what I was looking for was someone that understands YouTube and the way that we sort of handle it for our clients, right? So a woman from Georgia, the East Coast, emails me. She's like, I love your podcast. So first off, very good on getting my attention by giving me a compliment in the subject line. That works, folks. Do that all the time, please. But so she got my attention. I opened up the email and she's like, I love the show. I've been doing this, doing that. I'm like, hey, I actually need to do a show like tomorrow. Do you want to do this? And I found out, looked her up. She knows what she's talking about and all of that. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Here's someone on the East Coast that for the last 2 years is getting about 70+% of your business coming from YouTube. And she, like me, also found it on accident. And that's what we want to talk about today. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest, Mrs. Karin Carr. How are you, Karin?
I am doing very well. Thanks, Mike, for having me.
Yes, please. Go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit who may have not met you yet, who you are, where you're from, and lay up the topic. And let's get right on into this show.
You bet. So my name is Karin Carr. I have been licensed since 2005, but I have moved many times. So I have been in Northern California, South Carolina, Atlanta, and now Savannah. And as you can imagine, starting over every couple of years in a new market sucks. Yes.
Wow, I did not know
and
that.
And it sucks to start over and over again.
Totally.
So when I was in Atlanta, sorry, go ahead.
We get a lot of agents that question pops up, especially in the group here quite a bit.
Yes.
I'm a new agent to a new market. How do I break in? Because I have no SOI.
Yeah, because you're brand new all over again. You have no name recognition whatsoever. So I started blogging when I was in Atlanta, and I was getting some success with blogging. It works. It's just time consuming. It takes a long time. And I read something online that said if you embed a YouTube video in your blog, it's 40 times more likely to show up on the first page of Google search results. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll go make some videos to embed in my blog. Never occurred to me that anybody would be looking for the information on YouTube. It was simply a way to get the blog post to rank higher. And then we moved again. And when I got to Savannah, somebody called and said, I found your YouTube channel. I've been watching all your videos. My wife and I are selling our house in New York. We're going to move to Atlanta. We want you to help us. Yep. And after I yelled at him and said, you literally have the worst timing in the whole world, because I moved 5 hours away last week, but I referred him to somebody else from my old office. But it was kind of like that light bulb moment of, he said, I feel like I know you already. And I thought, well, forget the blog. I'll just go straight to making video.
Love it. Yes, you're exactly right. And folks, we say this all the time is video is a human factor. It's a humanization side. It makes people feel like they get to know you. And the truth is that people aren't going to get in the car with you if they don't like you to begin with. That's why your about page on your website is the number 3 most visited page, because the exact same thing happens as your purchasing decision to go on vacation. Karin, when you go on vacation, do you read the reviews before you click buy?
Of course.
That's what video content does for you guys on your sites, on your YouTube channel, on that. Karin just demonstrated that. She literally comes on in as someone calls you and is like, I feel like I know you. And that's exactly how it works. So video, I don't consider video a lead generation tool. I consider it a conversion tool. I consider it a communication strategy. Do you agree with that?
No, I totally use it as a lead generation strategy.
Interesting. Cool. So you're doing it. You're going about it. I like it. I like video on the branding plan. I do like it on the optimization side, but let's go through your process.
So how much percentage of business? I'd say at least 70% say that they found me on YouTube, or they found the blog first, but then once they go to the blog, they start watching all the videos.
And are you still writing blogs with all of your video content?
Not with every single video, but with a lot of them.
Awesome.
And I'm not writing the blog. I am transcribing the video and then copying and pasting it to make the blog.
Awesome. Folks, transcription is when you upload a video and it basically turns it into text so that you can record a video and transcribe it and then essentially get a blog post written out of it.
Yep, because I can say 3,000 words in a few minutes very easily, and then we just copy and paste it, and bam, instant blog post.
And walk me through walk me through this, because a lot of agents, create videos, they post it on Facebook, but they don't multi-purpose it to YouTube. They don't put it on their website. And if you guys are going to get in the content creation game, multi-purposing is huge. You need to make your content that you create stretch across all platforms as much as way, and YouTube is just another place to drop this stuff off at. So walk me through, in a very simplified way, is how does YouTube work?
YouTube is a search engine. It is not a social media platform. So I do not repurpose my video from Facebook for YouTube. I make content for YouTube, knowing that it is a search engine. So I do not do just general branding videos that I put on Facebook and then I download it and upload it to YouTube. I'm making content for the platform, knowing that people are out there doing Google searches to find this stuff. So they're not Googling Karen's vlog episode 34. They're Googling moving to Savannah, cost of living in Savannah, Savannah pros and cons, how to sell my house, how much does it cost to sell my house. They're Googling that stuff, and I want them to find my videos either on the first page of Google or on the first page of YouTube.
Yep, 100%. Love it. So folks, what we're talking about is like YouTube SEO.
Yes.
Is the easiest way to put it. And believe it or not, like I heard the other day that only 8% of small businesses are on YouTube right now, or even have a channel for that matter in the United States. And if YouTube isn't like a new thing, however, I do feel like it's the Facebook ads of 5 years ago coming very soon. We've been messing around with the ads and whatnot, and they're extremely very fun and interesting, but you can see what there is to do with it. So what Karin is talking about, guys, is she would actually research, and I did this, I learned the hard way too. When I started getting into content creation, Karin, I wrote 12 blog posts and created 12 videos in a 7-day period, thinking that it was all about getting a bunch of content. And I was writing about what I thought was cool. And, it was like, it wasn't about me, but then once I learned how to reverse engineer it, and like, I started optimizing my content going forward to get found, right, for rank. And basically what you do, you guys, is you reverse engineer your content creation. So when you're creating real estate content, you research what people type into YouTube and or Google, and then you create content on those answers, right?
Amen.
So, it's very simple. And a lot of people have the question, Karin, is like, well, how do I know what people search for? So what kind of tools and how do you figure this part out?
So I've got two that are my favorite, and they're both free. One is called Keywords Everywhere, and it is a plugin for your browser. So it works for Chrome or Firefox. And when you go to keywordseverywhere.com, you download this free thing. Then when you go to Google and you type in relocating to San Antonio, or whatever your idea might be for a video, it shows you right below the Google search bar how many people typed that exact phrase into the Google search bar on a monthly basis, and how competitive it is to rank for that. So you're looking for something that gets a fair amount of searches, and even 150 searches a month is fantastic, because it's showing that they've got high intent. They're planning on relocating to the area. They're probably going to need a place to live, and you can help them. So you're looking for the amount of volume each month, but then also how hard it is to rank for, because we all know, like, where's the best place to hide a dead body? On the second page of Google. Because if you're not ranking at the top of the first page, like I'd say in the top 10 results at worst, you probably in the top 5 is ideal, they're not going to see it. So if it's not ranking, you got to be able to see it.
Yep. And for those of you guys that are watching this right now, the Keywords Everywhere is a tool I have pulled up right here. And just so you can see how simple this is, it's really a Google, it's a what's it called? A plugin on an add-on. It's a, whatever the name
Chrome
is.
extension.
Chrome extension.
Yep.
And all you do is you download it. Takes what, a couple minutes, and it tells you. So like when I want to search, let's go ahead and do something live here for people, just so they can put their head around it. Go ahead and my favorite content, my most optimized content was closing costs, and it was insert geographical location and then closing costs right afterwards. It's always my number one lead gen. And I had the top spot on Google for a while. Now I'm down here somewhere. But you could see right here on the right side, this is what people type in. to Google. So basically you're creating content on what people type in and reverse engineering that.
Yep. So right up there where it said that the volume was 110, it means 110 people a month are typing in Chicago closing costs. And it said the competition was 0.06. It's great. On a scale of 0.01 to 0.99. So it's almost as low as it can get, meaning you've got no competition. So just create content based around what people are looking for, knowing that you have no competition, you're going to rank at the top.
Yep. You're exactly right. And I love it. So what was the other tool? You had Keywords Everywhere, and then the other
one is one by Neil Patel. It's called Uber Suggest. Have you used that one at all yet?
I've not. No, I'm going to look at it.
Okay. So it's ubersuggest.com. It's the same idea. It's not a plugin. It's just a web-based, but it goes one step further and it says you are 93% likely to rank in the top 20 if you create content on this topic. So, cool. I mean, it's pretty much telling you, dude, if you freaking do this, you're going to rank.
Yep. Now, walk me through the types of videos that you're doing. I have not seen your channel yet or anything, but how are your videos? Because a lot of people are like, well, I don't look good. I need to be super duper professional. I mean, are these just straight up information based where you're standing in front of it, or do you have any type of production quality behind it? And give me your views on that.
No, they are what I would call talking head videos. So I'm literally in my office with my phone on a tripod. And if it's a cloudy day, I have a crappy ring light that was not very expensive, but half the time I don't even bother to turn the light on. I'm just facing the window. So I've got enough natural light coming in and I'm standing there talking to the camera. At first it was very nerve wracking. Oh, I don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. You're going to see my laugh lines. You're going to see my wrinkles. You know what? I'm 50 years old. I freaking have laugh lines. So like, get over yourself. I am not there to be a beauty queen. I'm not there to win any, modeling awards. I'm there to help them make a shit ton of money or save a lot of money. And my goal is to provide enough value for them that they would want to hire me as their agent. And if they're not going to hire me based on what they look like, then screw them. I don't want to work with somebody that's shallow anyway. But nobody has ever called and said, I almost hired you, but I decided not to because your stomach's not flat. That just doesn't happen. So we really need to get over this whole thing of we need to be perfect to be on camera.
Folks, perfect. I say this all the time, maybe once a day. Perfection doesn't exist unless you're God himself, and none of you are. So don't overthink it. What's really cool is that there's only one of you in the world, just like there's only one fingerprint. Embrace that. Speak from it. A lot of people think you're boring, but how is one thing, an individual, boring when there's no one else like it? It's just all in your head. It's all in your freaking head.
It totally is.
So how many videos do you have, give or take?
I do one video a week. And so I think I probably have about 200 total on my channel, including listing videos and ones that are unlisted. They're not necessarily public. But I started making videos once a week. I'm at the 2-year anniversary, June of 2017. And that's it, one a week. I'm not, committing to daily vlogs or anything like that. I literally said, I can commit to doing one video a week and know that even if I got really busy, I think I could still commit to that upload schedule. Yep. And I've only missed one day in 2 years. And that's because we had a hurricane and had to evacuate.
So and I'm glad I appreciate that, because the biggest challenge I see with anyone, this isn't a real estate thing, this is any industry, but the biggest challenge I see is an emphasis put to time blocking for content creation.
Yes.
And what you guys want to realize is that when you're creating content, you're creating prospecting tools that work for you while you sleep. That's the beauty about video. It could keep selling for you when you're passed out or you're sleeping or you're on vacation or whatnot. And the point of it is that when you have a lot of this content, there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize it. I'm sure we'll get into that. Be it beyond just being found. It works for ongoing conversations and or whatnot. But my point is that this isn't like rocket science. People search for stuff. So think about, I want you to put yourself in the consumer's shoes. And when you're relocating, because I just relocated, you relocated like 5 times. I moved across the country to San Diego a couple of years ago, and I could not find the answers to the questions I've had, right? So I was like, where are the best schools? What's the commute time? Go back and forth to the office. And it was all this very, very hyper local search terms. that honestly, the content didn't exist. So if I would have found the answer to my questions during that time, it's almost like as a consumer, I almost feel like that person who gives me the answer is my savior. There's the attraction piece right there. Because the truth is that people don't want to go out and search for a good real estate agent and look for a bunch of interview like 5 agents, especially when you're relocating across the country. You just want the right agent, and you just want the answers because you have a million other things to do.
Yes.
So when you
can I show you a perfect example of this? Share your screen again for me, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, and then go to YouTube. And if you want, you can open an incognito window, but you said you hadn't searched me yet. So I'm assuming that you really hadn't.
No, not on YouTube.
Okay. So if you go to YouTube and you type in Savannah, Georgia real estate, or moving to Savannah, or living in Savannah, any of those things, let's see what shows up when you do a search on YouTube.
1, 2.
All I see is your desktop, by the way.
Oh, I got the wrong screen showing. Give me a second.
Yeah.
So she's basically got the top 5 spots. See it yet?
There we go. So that's me. That's me. The next one down is not. Actually, that's 3 in a row. So 2, 3, and 4 are all me. And then if you keep going down, there's just more and more and more.
Yeah.
So that whole Moving to Savannah playlist, that's 58 videos in that playlist that are all about moving to Savannah. So when people do this type of a search, they think I'm the only real estate agent in town.
Totally.
And I'm very happy to let them believe that. But that's what my videos look like. It's literally, that's my office at home. And that's literally me just talking to the camera with a little bit of B-roll and a little bit of graphics and just some stuff to make it more interesting so that I'm trying to keep their attention.
Yep.
Very little editing, not a whole lot of production value. You can have somebody on Fiverr edit the video for you for $10 if you just don't want to edit it yourself, and it won't cost you a lot of money. But like you said, getting leads while you sleep, that video that you were just showing, I think that was the Living in Savannah, What I Love and What I Hate. How old is that? It's about a year now. It's had, I don't know, how many? 11,000.
You got 11,000, 14,000. And look, guys, I'm not like, I know she's going to rank for a lot of these terms, the fact that she does there. There's a variations of Savannah real estate, not just moving. I just typed in Savannah real estate.
Yeah.
She's got number 1, 2. She's got number 4, number 5, number 6. Now, just to give you guys an idea, I'm curious to know what this top person that's ranking on top of this page, they're paying money to be here. She's not.
Yeah, that's an ad.
Okay, this is an ad. So they're paying money. This is all organic search. And I want you to think about how valuable that is for your actual business.
I'll tell you how valuable that is. That's closing 6 figures in commissions from a video that I made a year ago. A year ago.
Totally.
Like this generates ongoing business. It's 3 or 4 hours to make one video that will then bring you business for months and months and months and months and months and years to come.
100%. Here's when I got through when I really realized this optimization thing, it was on the video that was least freaking expected. It was a loft rental video. And people searched that a lot, and it's led to a lot of business. But that's when I really realized about optimization. When this accidentally happened, I lost money on the video, but I made money on the back end because I started content creation and all of that. But yeah, you're exactly right. Love it. So let me go through. I'd love to get it's not getting found is great, but how often do you use this? Like when you're on a listing presentation per se?
All the time.
Right. It's social proof. So walk us through that, exactly how you would use that in a listing presentation. I'm curious to know if it's similar to how we were doing it.
Yeah. So when I get a new listing appointment, I send them an email and I say, thanks so much. It was great talking to you. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning. Here are a couple of videos I want you to watch in the meantime. And that I'm getting more FaceTime with them before I even show up at their house. So they're watching a couple of videos about like, this is how to get your house ready so it'll show well. This is what you need to have ready before the photographer shows up, just basic stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Then when I get to the listing appointment, they're like, oh, I feel like I know you already because I've been watching all your videos, which is the key. And then I say, okay, I want you to pull up your phone and I want you to search homes for sale in Rincon, Georgia. And then when my stuff pulls up, I'm like, did you see that? So when people do these Google searches, they're finding my stuff. That's your house. They're finding my video of your house And that's without a paid ad. So imagine once we turn on the volume and we start paying for ads on Facebook and on Instagram and all the other things. So yes, it absolutely helps in listing presentations as well.
Totally. And even like if you're going up against somebody, you know, I remember going up against the top agent, like this guy probably outperformed us by like 20, 30 million. And I was just like, you know, it was a hyper local search on listings. So I'd always do neighborhood name, condos for sale. And if you pull up our search, we'd have like the top 5. So when I go into that neighborhood, I'm like, look, none of these guys got anything on us because we rank, like we own rank, and you can't beat that. And yes, it does help. I'm sure a lot of these videos too. Did you have any, like half of the video to me, I'd like to get your opinion is selling the trust and the authority first and the personality. You know
yes,
what I mean?
agreed.
Like, and when people feel comfortable, it's just that much easier. They are come list me's when they reach out to you.
Well, it's funny, like you tell the story about how when you decided to be the Chicago marketing dude, everybody told you what a bad idea that was. And I think that that's brilliant because like attracts like, and you will attract people that have similar personalities as you when you are being your actual personality on camera. So if you don't wear a suit every day, don't show up on camera wearing a suit because that's not your personality. If you're a flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt kind of guy, then that's what you wear on your video because you're being yourself on camera. If they don't like you, they're not going to call you. That's okay. It's every bit as important to repel the people who are not your ideal clients as it is to attract the ones that are. But then when they feel like they know you, they call you, they meet you in person for the first time, you're exactly who they thought you were going to be. They don't hire anybody else. They don't interview anybody else. When you say, here's my listing agreement, this is how much I charge, sign it. They say, okay, give me a pen. Like they don't push back on any of that stuff because they knew what they were getting before they even picked up the phone to call you.
And just think about this. I bet you Karin, if Karin were to get up on, let's just say Karin starts a new business and Karin's going to call herself a chef. And if Karin just created the next 10 to 20 videos on her cooking, she might not even know what the hell she's doing, but you're still an expert in my eyes.
I would agree. In fact, I taught this class on YouTube at my office this morning, and 4 of the people in the class said, I'm a brand new agent. I don't know anything about real estate. I'm like, okay, but you live in Savannah. How long have you lived here? And one guy was like, oh, I grew up here. I'm like, well, then talk about the area. Like you're an expert in something. You may not be able to talk about the nuances of a transaction yet, but you can sure talk about the different neighborhoods because you've lived here for 40 years.
Yep. And isn't that what they're hiring? They're
Right.
hiring a local expert.
Yep.
Let's talk about some long drawn out keywords. Let's go into hyperlocal a little bit. Because a lot of people will be like, it's not about, to me, you have a lot of views on your video, great. But to me, it's not necessarily about the views as much as it is about hyperlocal search. It's sort of like a catch.
Absolutely.
And I remember one I did was, it was a talking head video, and it's just how to buy and sell a house at the same time. I did that one too.
Yeah.
So, people type that in, right? So it's like, but within 2 days, I got a call, and it wasn't a call. Like the lead, I'll never forget this because it was like at that time when I started turning these on. And the lead wrote me an email that was a paragraph, like literally, like it was a few paragraphs long. She wrote me a novel. And it was only because, and I was, the video wasn't that great. It was a white back screen, like nothing there. It was about 4 minutes long. It was extremely boring, but she watched the whole thing because she was in the exact situation of having to sell and buy. And all she said was, I need expert advice from a professional like yourself, because that was the perception. I don't even remember what I said. It probably wasn't even that good, but because I was on video, I earned authority.
That's right.
Very cool.
And you're right. It's not about the number of views, but it's about the intent of the person that's searching for that keyword. So I like to work with military a lot. My husband's retired Air Force. So I make a lot of videos talking to people where I say, are you PCSing to hunter? If you're not in the military, you don't know what that means. But if you are, you know what the word PCS means. And so that video might only have a few hundred views, but I get a boatload of business from that video because they are PCSing to hunter and they want to buy a house and they don't know anything about using their VA entitlement, and they know that I speak their language.
100%.
So somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about.
And what Karin's getting at is, have you guys ever heard the terms, like, this is the thing that I want to get your opinion on this. Personally, I can't stand when everyone tries to cater to everybody.
Agreed.
The jack of all trades is the master of none. So what Karin said is a very important piece of information is like, once you figure out what your messaging is, you speak exactly to your tribe. And
Yes.
if you don't know what your tribe is, I want you guys to go look at your last 10 clients and first realize that they all became beer drinking buddies or wine drinking pals, whatever. And that wasn't done on accident. It's because we attract like people. We all do. Right. So what is that voice? What do they all have in common? If you're a mom, talk like a mom and be a parent and create content with that. Even bring your kids in it for who cares. People will relate to the human side because at the end of the day, they're hiring you based upon their comfort level with you over your expertise first and foremost. Do you think that the consumers in general believe that most agents offer the same level of service?
Oh, totally. They think that we're just a commodity. They don't see the value. They think we're just door openers. I mean, they don't really know why should I hire you versus my third cousin, Susie, who just got her real estate license last week? You guys all do the same thing. So we have to show them what our value is. We can't fault them for not knowing. We're going to just show them what our value is. And so I totally agree that you need to have a niche. You need to have a specialty. You don't need to be all things to all people, and you don't have to have everybody in town. You're never going to have 100% of your market share. So why don't you decide what you want your specialty to be? Is it dog lovers? Is it gay couples? Is it seniors who are downsizing? They're empty nesters. All the kids have left and they want to buy a single story house now. Is it houses that are on the water? Is it houses that are in the mountains? Is it tiny homes? Like, you can figure out what you want your specialty to be. And then the content that you make around that topic will, of course, attract the ideal people who are out there looking for that content.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Zillow is also a good place to get content to create. Like, people ask questions there all day long.
Totally.
Like, just
is Truly Answers still a thing? I remember back in the day, I would go on Truly Answers and just see what they were asking.
I haven't been on Truly in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't even know. It's still around?
Well, they were bought by Zillow, but I don't know. But you could go on Reddit and ask and look at what they're asking. You can go to answerthepublic.com.
Yeah,
and
I like that one too.
What kind of questions people are asking. You can go in the Facebook groups. And when somebody says, I'm thinking about buying a house, and 157 agents jump in and say, pick me, pick me, pick me. What if you said, I did a video about moving to this area. You should watch this. I've actually had people that chose me because I didn't promote myself. I gave them a video to watch answering their question. And I said nothing about myself on the post. And they were like, thank you. Like, you guys are like vultures descending on the dead deer on the side of the road. And here's somebody who actually tried to help me and didn't ask for my business. Yeah.
So, your shit's broke if you have to tell people how long you've been in the business, how many transactions you've done to earn their trust. Yep. When you can actually lead through demonstration and authority and content creation, you don't need to do that. It'll do it in itself. And you can allow the consumer to make up their own mind. I believe that there's nothing more of a turnoff. And we'll just go to another industry, but I feel realtors are the same way. So you have any financial planner friends? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they first get that job, any financial planner friends, I'm sure everyone can relate to this. Do you remember getting the call from your friend and they're like a totally different person? They're like, well, I'd like to take you out to coffee and talk about like your 401k. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Is this Jason? Right. I'm like, bro, like, who are you, right? Why did you just transform into a freaking robot? Because I know you just listened to your script. Now, do you ever meet them out for lunch?
No, you avoid them like the plague. When you see them on your caller ID, you let it go to voicemail because you're like, oh crap, now they're going to try to sell me stuff I don't want.
100%. And that's what attraction is. That's what content creation is, folks. As the industry continues to go towards more of an individual branding perception as opposed to the brokerage, which is what's happening, content creation is going to be essential to your survival.
And on YouTube, they are not going there because they want to buy something. So quit trying to sell them. Don't sell them on yourself. You don't have to say, if you know anyone looking to buy or sell in Chicago, you need to call me. Like, you don't do that shit because that's not what they were there to learn. They were there to learn, I'm interested in renting a loft in Chicago, and you give them all the information. And you put your contact information in the description box below, and you put it in the about section, and you just very offhandedly mention, hey, my name is Karin. I'm a realtor in Savannah. with Keller Williams, and you only say that because you have to be compliant with your state, and that's it. Like, you move on and you never mention it again. And then their walls go down because they don't feel like you're trying to sell them something.
Yep. Totally. When you put yourselves in like their shoes, it's extremely important, right? And it allows you to sort of look at yourself from the outside in a non-self-serving way.
Yes.
What I like to do. I always like, what do they think? How do they feel about this positioning? Does this really get them the answer that they want? It's always about them, folks, in video. It's never about you. Trust me.
Yes.
All right. I have a question that came in here. Chris wants to know about how do you title your videos when posted? So
we've done our keyword research, right? I go into keywords everywhere, or Uber suggests. I figure out what the keyword is. The keyword will be if all of my title or at least half of my title. So let's say that my keyword was cost of living in Savannah, and that one got, I don't know, 300 searches a month. But then Savannah prices was 100 searches a month. I might have cost of living in Savannah dash Savannah prices. So I might actually have two keywords in the title,
double keyword, knowing
that like I'm going to capture all of the SEO, because you're trying to tell YouTube what the hell the video is about. It's got these bots that crawl the system all day long, but something like, I forget what it is, 400,000 hours of video are uploaded every minute or something outrageous like that. And so you've got to give enough metadata to tell YouTube what the video is about so that they know that they need to rank you high in the search results.
Well, here's the key is, out of those 400,000 hours of videos, how many of those videos are actually being optimized?
Yeah, most of them are not. Like somebody shot it on their phone and they just uploaded it and they didn't even bother to put a title. There's no description below. There's nothing to help tell what that video is about. Like, you're going to give it as much information as you can so that you are helping yourself rank at the top of the search results.
Totally. And it's a matter of, I believe it's a matter of time until a lot of these search terms get, like it's literally like wide open.
It
like
totally
if you're an agent, it's wide open, but 10 years from now, is it going to be wide open?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, right now I travel the country talking about video, trying to convince people that they need to be on video. And this class that I taught at my own office this morning, where I'm like the video queen of Savannah, and they were all there. And I said, how many of you are making video? Not one hand went up. Not one hand went up. So I don't know, like I'm bending over backwards trying to convince people of the value of video. But if they're too afraid to put themselves out there and they're too big of a chicken shit to actually make a video, I don't know. I wonder 10 years down the road, how much will be really different. To me, it is a wide open playing field. If you go on YouTube in whatever market you're in and you type in Dallas real estate agent, Dallas realtor, realtors in Dallas, I guarantee you 90% of the videos that you will find are listing tours of a house for sale where the agent is not present in the video at all.
Yep. I hate that. Yeah.
Yep. So I can't connect with you if I can't see you. And by the way, that's not evergreen content, because as soon as the house sells, it's no longer relevant anymore. So that's not going to get you business ever unless they loved that exact house. But nobody's going to watch that video and say, yeah, I don't really like the kitchen in that house, but you know what? The agent was awesome. We so need to call him, because it was not present in the video.
I love some of the videos that are coming out where the agents are doing something a little bit different. I've seen a rap video in a house. I've seen one guy doing the floss in the house.
Did you see the one with the Roombas, like the family of Roombas?
I've not seen that one. But does that or does that not? Like, if I see that video and I see someone just having fun, like, I'm more likely to call that agent over the one I see on the park bench.
Agreed.
All day. Because I can relate to him. Like, this guy's cool. I want to hang out with that guy in the car, right?
Yep.
Very, very cool. Is there any other tips that you would like to go ahead and mention or go ahead and share with our audience here?
Yeah, I would say when you start your video, so you've decided I'm going to make a YouTube video. I know what it's going to be about. I know what my keyword is going to be. And you start recording. Get to the subject, for crying out loud. Don't talk about yourself and how you're a top producer and you've got this award and that award, because again, nobody gives a shit. You need to get to this topic that you're talking about. And then at the very end, when you're wrapping up, maybe you can mention yourself in passing. Ideally, you have a strong call to action, something like, let's say your video was about why do I need a home inspection? At the end, instead of saying, call me if you need a home inspection, you say, so now you know why you need a home inspection, but you know what the home inspector is looking for? I have a free checklist for you. You can download it at my website. Here's the link. Yep. So now they click on that link, they go to your website, they download your free thing. Two things are going to happen. When you call them and say, hey, thanks for downloading my checklist. Are you thinking about buying a house? They invariably say, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. You're famous. I can't believe you actually called me. Thank you so much. They thank you for calling them because they feel like you are taking time out of your very busy schedule to call them, and it makes them feel special. Totally. Number two, it lets you pixel them on Facebook because now they've been to your website. So give them something of value at the end of the video without asking for the business, and you'll get the business.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Well, folks, thank you for listening to another episode. Karen, we'd like to give you the floor right here. Maybe if you guys have any more questions, maybe Karin could go ahead and give you her website and show you how to reach her. Go ahead and plug your social channels and all of that as well.
Oh, okay, cool. So I have two YouTube channels. One is for the people that are looking to buy and sell in Savannah, but then I have another one where I'm teaching agents how to do all this stuff. So that one is just youtube.com/Karin Carr. KARINCARR. And so you can watch a whole bunch of tutorials I've done where I talk about this kind of stuff in a little more depth. My website is youtubeforagents.com. If anybody wants to take this to the next level, I've created an entire training course. It's called YouTube for Agents, where I teach you this stuff step by step so that you can do it in your own market because it's extremely successful and hardly anybody is doing it.
Yep. 100%. Thank you so much for your insight and coming onto the show and sharing that with everybody. And
my pleasure.
And folks, thank you for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, you know where to find us. If you want us to go ahead and create your video content, we do rank them. We will search for them. We will optimize them for you, and we'll do all the distribution as well. Go ahead and visit our site, realestatemarketingdude.com, realestatemarketingdude.com, a full 100% done for you version on video content creation and distribution. If you have any additional questions, follow me on social, dude. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, follow me on my Facebook page. You can find that at The Real Estate Marketing Dude, and find me and follow. That's pretty simple. You'll get access to all of our videos, especially the one we just released today that is extremely funny. So we appreciate your listening. Please take your time. We'll be back next week for another episode. Karin, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye-bye. I'm going to